Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the current affairs. Today we are going to learn the current affairs of 27th of November 2024. So let's start and see what are the things we can learn from this day and what are the things we can add into our notes and update into our general knowledge facts. So before we start, just take your notebooks within your hand, your pen, and do write the important points which I'm going to tell you in this session. Before we start, these are the topics I got covered for you in this session, guys. So, first of all, I've got some international news, national news, state news, banking and finance, defense, science and technology, sports, books and authors, obituary, appointment and resignations. And at last, I will summarize all the things for all of you that what we have learned so far in this session. Before we start, the images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So, the first news that we have today with us is Yamandu Orsi, Uruguay's new modern left leader. So, first of all, you need to understand where you can find Uruguay. So, Uruguay is a country that you can find in the Central America part. Where is Central America? You must have heard about North America and South America. Where is Central America? Central America is the particular uh, part where North America and South America connects, and Uruguay is the part of that. And if we talk about Uruguay, so Uruguay's new modern left leader has come to the power, that is Yamandu Orsi. Yamandu Orsi, a former history teacher and mayor of Canelones, has been elected as Uruguay's president. Orsi won the November 2024 runoff with 49.8% of the votes, defeating Alvaro Delgado of the Conservative National Party. So, if we talk about an important thing that recently the elections happened in United States as well. So that was the 47th elections of the president of USA, and that was won by Donald Trump. Apart from that, recently in Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, she has become the first female president of Mexico. Apart from that, in Tunisia, Kais Saied has re-elected for the second time as the president of Tunisia. In Russia, Vladimir Putin has been re-elected for another term and for another 6 years. And apart from that, in Bangladesh, we after the Sheikh Hasina, she fled away, and after her, Muhammad Yunus, he became the interim prime minister of Bangladesh, and Shehbaz Sharif, particularly, he is taking care of Pakistan. And recently, some modern developments were also happened in the terms of elections in Indonesia also. And apart from that, if we talk about Sri Lanka, so in Sri Lanka, the newly elected president and prime minister also take their oath. So a lot of re-elections and appointments have been conducted recently in this year, and the most important one, for the third time, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has become the Prime Minister of India, and from for in the 18th Lok Sabha elections. His victory marks a return or to center-left governance under the Broad Front coalition. Orsi's leadership promised change while maintaining Uruguay's modern moderate political ethos. So do remember that Yamandu Orsi, Uruguay's new modern left leader, and particularly he is taking care of Uruguay now from now on. India joins Riyadh Design Law Treaty. So India has signed the Riyadh Design Law Treaty adopted by the World Intellectual Property Organization member states. The treaty aims to harmonize industrial design registration procedures globally. It introduces measures to promote equitable access to intellectual property protection. Agreement encourages growth in the industrial design sectors and simplifies registration process. So do remember that India has joined the Riyadh Design Law Treaty. President Draupadi Murmu unveils Sanskrit and Mathili translation to of the Indian Constitution. So on 26th November, that is the Constitution Day, also known as the National Law Day. Why it is known as National Law Day? Because, or Constitution Day, because on 26th November 1949, the Constitution that we have today was adopted by the Constituent Assembly, and it was signed by 284 members at that time on this day. And President Draupadi Murmu unveiled on this day the Sanskrit and Mathili translation of Indian Constitution in New Delhi. The event marked Samvidhan Divas and the 75th anniversary of the adoption of the Indian Constitution. Translations celebrate India's linguistic diversity and reaffirm the Constitution's significance as the country's guiding framework. Ceremony highlighted the importance of preserving and promoting regional languages. So, do remember that President Draupadi Murmu unveiled Sanskrit and Mathili translations of the Indian Constitution recently. Government extends Atal Innovation Mission till 2028. If we talk about innovation, so the position of India in the Global Innovation Index is 39. Remember that. So Indian government has extended the Atal Innovation Mission until 31st March 2028. Extension known as Atal Innovation Mission 2.0 was approved by the Union Cabinet on 25th November. The new phase includes an expanded scope and renewed objectives to foster innovation. AIM continues to be the flagship program of Niti Aayog, promoting entrepreneurship and innovation across India. And remember, the Innovation Index, India's ranking is 39. And the Atal Innovation Mission has been extended till 31st March 2028. Supreme Court approves the urgent land acquisition for Yamuna Expressway development. So the Supreme Court has upheld the Uttar Pradesh government's decision to urgently acquire land for the Yamuna Expressway development. The court justifies the use of urgency provisions under Section 17 Clause 1 and 17 Clause 4 of the Land Acquisition Act 1894. The decision allows the Yamuna Expressway Industrial Development Authority to proceed without waiting for objections from landowners. The ruling aims to expedite the development process of the expressway. So, the Supreme Court approves the urgent land acquisition for Yamuna Expressway development, and that will help the Uttar Pradesh government to take the land from the landowners and will try to work on this particular thing. The court has justified the use of the using urgency provisions under Section 17 Clause 1 and 17 Clause 4 of the Land Acquisition Act 1894. If we talk about constitution, so till 1978, the right to property was a fundamental right under Article 31, but under 44th Amendment 1978, right to property was removed from the fundamental right list, and Article 31 was removed. And currently, the status of right to property is under Article 300 Clause A, and this article was added under 44th Amendment 1978. And under this, the right to property is now particularly has given a constitutional right status. So that is a constitutional right. If any particular type of development, the government is required your land, so anyhow you have to give the land. In respect of that, the person will get compensation, but you have to provide the land for the development purpose. So same is the case here. And remember which act the Supreme Court has referred to: Land Acquisition Act of 1894. So remember this point, because this kind of question may come into your exam. Jammu Kashmir celebrates the first Constitution Day since 1950. So Jammu Kashmir observed a Constitution Day, Samvidhan Divas, for the first time since 1950 on November 26, 2024. The event marked the 75th anniversary of the adoption of the Indian Constitution. Celebration emphasized the core values of justice, equality, and fraternity enshrined in the preamble. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha led the historic celebration, highlighting the region's integration into the national framework. So, do remember that Jammu Kashmir was particularly inducted into the Union of India in after the treaty of signed between the Indian government and the Raja Hari Singh. And apart from that, since then there was a special status given to the Jammu Kashmir, that physically it is a part of India, but morally and in other ways it is independent. So in 2019, as we know, that Article 370 has been reconstructed along with Article 35A. And now, after a very long time, since 1950, for the first time, the first Constitution Day was particularly celebrated in Jammu Kashmir as well, under the Lieutenant Governorship of Mr. Manoj Sinha. So remember that as well. GST collection on health and life insurance. So Union government collected 16,398 crore as the GST from health and life insurance service in financial year 24. It reflects a significant 680% increase from 2,101 crore in financial year 20. Life insurance contribution 8,135 crore, while health insurance added 8,263 crore in financial year 24. Specific schemes like Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana and Jan Arogya Bhim policy remain exempted from GST. So, GST collection on health and life insurance has particularly increased, and a significant increase of 680% we can see since financial year 2020. So, remember that as well. So, this is all about the health and life insurance. Alphabet gets CCI node to invest in Flipkart. So, the Competition Commission of India has approved Alphabet Inc. subsidiary Shoreline International Holdings LLC to acquire the stake in Flipkart Private Limited. What is Competition Commission of India? An authority that particularly provide their assent to the people who particularly who particularly got merged, the companies that got merged or get acquired. So the approval has been given by this commission, that is called Competition Commission of India. Alphabet Google invested 350 million in Flipkart. Remember, Google's parent company is Alphabet, and May 2024 funding around which raised a total of $1 billion. Walmart, holding on 85% stake in Flipkart, contributed $600 million. CCI also approved MUFG Banks Limited acquisition on an additional stake in DMI Finance, raising its shareholdings to 20%. So, which particular famous company or parent company of Google has particularly acquired the stake in the famous e-commerce company of India? That is Flipkart. So, that is Alphabet. Alphabet is the parent company of Google. Operation Tamarisk, the Cold War secret garbage war. So, Operation Tamarisk was a covert intelligence operation during the Cold War. Intelligence agents collected and analyzed discarded waste left by Soviet troops in East Germany. This operation aimed to gather valuable information through unconventional means. It highlights the length of which intelligence agencies went to again and advance it during the Cold War. So, this is a kind of a historic fact that we came to know about. So, Cold War, first of all you need to understand that what is Cold War. So you must have heard about the wars like World War First, World War Second. Cold War is like a war that is happening intellectually or in terms of technology. Like if you have heard that which is the first country in the world that has reached moon along with their astronaut, that is USA. Which is the first country that has reached Mars, so that is USA. So this is a kind of a scientific war that is going on between in between USA and Soviet Union at that time, and it this war particularly remained in the world till 1991, till the time Soviet Union got bifurcated. So during that time, Operation Tamarisk was holded by the covert intelligence operation during the Cold War. And what is the purpose behind this? So purpose behind this is to check the discarded waste of Soviet Union in East Germany part, so that particularly any information that they can get from the scientific developments and all that can be done. So remember Operation Tamarisk. Coast Guard to hold SAREX 24 in Kochi from November 27 to 30th November. So, Indian Coast Guard will conduct 11 edition of the National Maritime Search and Rescue Exercise and Workshop in Kochi. So, remember that SAREX 24 is a Indian Coast Guard exercise, and it was the 11th edition of the National Maritime Search and Rescue Exercise Workshop, and it is going to be held in Kochi. And an Indian Coast Guard Day is celebrated on 1st of February. The event take place from 27 to 30th November 2024. Organized under the National Maritime Search and Rescue Board, it aims to enhance India's maritime search and rescue capabilities. Exercise involves collaboration with various national and international stakeholders. So do remember Coast Guard to hold SAREX 24 in Kochi from November 27 to 30th November. It is an Indian Coast Guard exercise. Amar Raja Infra sets up India's first green hydrogen fueling station in Leh. So Amara Raja Infra has completed set up India's first green hydrogen fueling station in Leh Ladakh for NTPC, that is National Thermal Power Corporation. The station will enable emission-free transport in the region, supporting NTPC's green mobility initiatives. It is designed to produce 80 kg of green hydrogen daily and will aid in operating 5 hydrogen fuel cell buses. The project marks significant milestone in India's effort to embrace green mobility and develop hydrogen infrastructure. So do remember that Amara Raja Infra sets up India's first green hydrogen fueling station in Leh. ISRO Shukriyan set for Venus Voyage after government approval. So the Indian Space Research Organization has announced the plan for a Venus exploration mission. So some of the missions that are lined up for us are particularly like Chandrayaan 4, Gaganyaan, that is an astronaut mission, and apart from that, Shukriyan is on the line. And apart from that, we are also working on a mission Mars once again, in which we are now going to particularly do some more research. In the last MOM mission, that is the Mars orbiter mission, in that mission we particularly only orbited around the Mars, but this time we are going to land on it. So, mission is the part of ISRO's future initiatives, including advancement in lunar and Mars missions. ISRO is also developing India's space station and upgrading weather and communication system. These missions signify India's strides in space exploration and aspiration for deeper interplanetary studies. So, remember ISRO Shukriyan set for Venus Voyage. Proba 3 ISRO to launch ESA Precision Formation Flying Solar Mission. So ISRO will launch the European Space Agency Proba 3 mission on December 4, 2024. The mission will use ISRO's PSLV, that is the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle XL rocket from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. Proba 3 will study Sun's corona through an artificial solar eclipse created by two satellites flying in precision formation. Mission represents a significant technological breakthrough and international collaboration in space exploration. So do remember that ISRO has launched ESA's Precision Formation Flying Solar Mission, that is Proba 3. India's first space AI lab, TM2 Space MOITD Revolution. Hyderabad-based TM2 Space will launch MOITD, India's first AI laboratory in space, aboard ISRO's PSLV C-60 rocket in mid-December 2024. Mission will enable real-time in-orbit data processing, reducing data transmission cost. TM2 Space aims to democratize space technology and accelerate India's role in space innovation. Company is known for its advancement in nanosatellites and cutting-edge space research. So remember, India's first space AI lab, that is TM2 Space MOITD Revolution, is on the way towards creating a revolutionizing sector in the space technology. NADA suspend Bajrang Punia for 4 years over doping violation. So first of all, you need to understand what is NADA. So it is the National Anti-Doping Agency. Now, what is doping? So basically, as you are if you are an athlete, so there are certain medicines that you will take for your pain and other things. But according to the WADA, that is World Anti-Doping Agency, and NADA, that is National Anti-Doping Agency, some medicines have been barred to be taken by the athletes, as they are particularly a kind of a drugs, and they will create efficiency in the athletes that is given artificially. So these type of drugs or medicines cannot be used in professional athleticism, and particularly in terms of sports. So National Anti-Doping Agency has suspended Olympic bronze medalist Bajrang Punia for 4 years. Suspension follows his refusal to provide a urine sample for a dope test during selection trials on March 10, 2024. So he particularly barred himself or abolished that he will not provide a urine sample. So because of that, he was not able to go to the Paris Olympics, and now he has been given a 4-year suspension. Decision extends beyond NADA initial provisional suspension in April 2024. Punia is barred from competitive wrestling and coaching opportunities abroad. So do remember, NADA suspends Bajrang Punia for 4 years over doping violation. Exploring physics beyond the Higgs boson launches. So HarperCollins India has released Beyond the Higgs boson, the W boson and Dr. Ashutosh Kotwal Quest for the Unknown. The book is authored by Manik Kotwal and translated by Jerry Pinto. It chronicles the journey of Dr. Ashutosh Kotwal, a pioneering Indian physicist involved in Higgs boson and W boson research. Biography written by his mother offer a unique perspective of his life and achievement. So Higgs boson particle, also known as the God particle, and this was particularly discovered by the experiments that happened under the Gotthard tunnel, and particularly during that particular phase, the God particle was particularly considered as the one through which the whole universe came into being. And for the research purpose of that, this particular experiment was conducted, and this is known as the Higgs boson. So now a book is coming. Now the HarperCollins India has released Beyond the Higgs boson, the W boson and Dr. Ashutosh Kotwal Quest for the Unknown. SR Group chairman Sashi Ruia passes away. So SR Group, you must have seen some petrol pumps of this SR name. So now the SR Group chairman Sashi Ruia passed away. Shashikant Ruia, founder and chairman of SR Group, passed away at the age of 81. Ruia was known for his visionary leadership and played pivotal role in shaping India's corporate landscape. He transformed a modest family business into a global conglomerate. His legacy includes exceptional acumen, a commitment to innovation, and dedication to philanthropy. So remember, SR Group chairman Sashi Ruia passed away. Breton Back, renowned South African writer, dies at 85. So Breton Back, a South African-born poet and former political prisoner, passed away at the age of 85. Known for his fierce opposition to apartheid. Apartheid means a kind of a racial discrimination on the basis of color. His literary works captured the struggle and disillusionment of his time. Breton Back's life was marked by exile, imprisonment, intense political activism. His death in Paris marks the end of an era for South African literature and anti-apartheid resistance. So do remember, Breton Back, renowned South African writer, dies at 85. Dr. Jaitirth Raghavendra Joshi, appointed Chief of BrahMos Aerospace. So Dr. Jaitirth Raghavendra Joshi has been appointed as the new Chief of BrahMos Aerospace. He has over 3 decades of experience and has made significant contribution to missile technology. Dr. Joshi is known for his work in non-destructive testing and professional development of industry experts. His appointment signifies a continued focus on innovation and excellence in India's defense sector. So remember, Dr. Jaitirth Raghavendra Joshi, appointed Chief of the BrahMos Aerospace. Let's summarize what we have learned so far in this session, guys. So first of all, Yamanda Orsi, Uruguay's new modern left leader. India joins Riyadh Design Law Treaty. President Draupadi Murmu unveils Sanskrit and Maithili translation of the Indian Constitution. Government extends Atal Innovation Mission till 2028. Supreme Court approves urgent land acquisition for Yamuna Expressway development. Jammu Kashmir celebrates first Constitution Day since 1950. GST collection on health and life insurance since 2020 exceeds by 680%. Alphabet gets CCI node to invest in Flipkart. Operation Tamrisk, the Cold War secret garbage war. Coast Guard to hold SAREX 24 in Kochi from November 27 to 30th November. Amara Raja Infra set up India's first green hydrogen fueling station in Leh. ISRO's Shukryan set for Venus Voyage after government approval. Proba 3 ISRO to launch ESA Precision Formation Flying Solar Mission. India's first space AI lab TM2 Space MOITD Revolution. NADA suspends Bajrang Punia for 4 years over doping violation. Exploring physics beyond the Higgs boson launches. SR Group chairman Sashi Ruya passed away. Britain back. Renowned South African writer dies at 85. Dr. Jaitit Raghavendra Joshi appointed chief of BrahMos Aerospace. And that's it in this session, guys. So I hope you get a lot of things to know from this session and your knowledge is updated. Along with that, your notes are also updated. So, particularly, we have seen a lot of things, we have learned a lot of things, and we will meet once again in the similar type of session in which we will discuss some more important points. And till the time we meet for the next time, bye bye, take care, everyone, and see you soon.